Samsung Galaxy S26 Ultra is the phone to acquire if you want to experience Snapdragon at its best. If you want to see just how good the Snapdragon 8 Elite Gen 2 can get, you'll probably have to spend for a Samsung Galaxy S26 Ultra. Next year, the S26 Ultra will emerge with, according to several rumors, the Snapdragon 8 Elite Gen 2 processor. What's worth mentioning, however, is that the Elite Gen 2 chipset found in Samsung's flagship phone will actually be the best version of this technology. According to one reliable source, the Snapdragon CPU inside the S26 Ultra has a clock speed of 4.74 GHz, whereas the ordinary version of the Elite Gen 2 runs at 4.61 GHz. In benchmarks, the Ultra's processor's single-core performance score is 4000, but the normal version score is 3900. So, if you want to know just how powerful the Snapdragon 8 Elite Gen 2 can be, the Galaxy S26 Ultra is the phone for you. Of course, there's still the chance that another phone manufacturer may make the CPU even quicker on its own phone, but it certainly won't be much better than what Samsung has managed. If there's one negative to the chip's power, it's that it can lead to reduced screen-on time. Samsung is, once again, sticking with its famous 5000 mAh Li-ion battery for the S26 Ultra, while Apple is actually fattening up the iPhone 17 Pro for a bigger battery than last year. The company has been trying to move its phones back over to Exynos processors, but has been having terrible luck with its attempts. Samsung first hoped to deploy the Exynos 2500 chipset across the Galaxy S25 family, but the processor wasn't ready on time and launched later alongside the Galaxy Z Flip 7. Similarly, Samsung has been pooling resources into trying to develop its 2nm Exynos 2600 processor for the S26 series. However, according to several rumors, the business may not have been able to achieve that, hence the leaked facts about the Snapdragon 8 Elite Gen 2 CPU for Galaxy. There's also a tiny probability that Samsung is able to go back to employing both Exynos and Snapdragon processors in various areas with the Galaxy S26. Some early reports did hint at this happening, but it seems improbable at this moment. Next, Samsung could be contemplating a dramatic design adjustment for next year's Galaxy S26 Ultra, going beyond more rounded corners. Reports claim that the gadget may revive the camera island bump that disappeared after the S21 Ultra. Starting in 2022, the firm embraced the water droplet appearance, with each lenses sitting cleanly on the back panel without a raised island. But it may no longer be practical with the camera enhancements scheduled for 2026. According to industry insiders, the Galaxy S26 Ultra will feature updated camera sensors with greater zoom capabilities. These advancements demand more physical space, pushing Samsung to reconsider a design it ditched 5 years ago. It's a structural need, so the corporation can't avoid it. Bigger sensors and more modern optics naturally increase module thickness, and putting them within a cohesive island gives both functional and aesthetic balance. Another way would have been to make the phone bulkier, but it goes against Samsung's design philosophy. It has been increasingly striving toward a smaller and lighter construction for Galaxy flagships. Rumors claim the Galaxy S26 Ultra will be under 8mm thick, thus Samsung likely doesn't have enough place to fit decent cameras without placing a bulge on the back of the phone. Alongside the restored camera island, the Galaxy S26 Ultra may also continue Samsung's steady move away from its Galaxy Note legacy. Early sources say the gadget will adopt more rounded corners for greater ergonomics, counterbalancing the larger rear module with increased grip. Combined with a smaller profile, this could help users feel less of the increased bulk from the larger camera housing. Interestingly, Samsung isn't the only one confronting this design difficulty. Reports indicate Apple's iPhone 17 Pro and Pro Max, arriving next month, will also adopt a significantly larger camera bump, roughly double the size of the iPhone 16's, to house new 48 megapixels telephoto sensors and 8x optical zoom. While Apple fans have varied opinions about the appearance, the trade-off for enhanced camera performance is unavoidable. Samsung's next S-series flagships are still approximately half a year away, but the quantity of information that has already leaked about the lineup makes it feel like they're just around the corner. The South Korean electronics titan has had a terrific year, and it's trying to duplicate similar success to kick off 2026 with the S26 range. The series, however, will appear a little different this time around. The S26 series is all but confirmed to contain a Pro and Edge variant, replacing the base and Plus models, respectively. The company's crown gem, the Ultra version, will stay put. From what we already know, the top-of-the-line model will keep its commanding place in the lineup, featuring the old dependable 200 megapixels main rear shooter with a wider aperture, 60-watt fast charging, finally, and maybe an even bigger screen. Now, a new leak emerging from a trusted source is shedding light on a major RAM upgrade that's slated to make its way to the forthcoming model, one that might enable amazing data transfer speeds. For perspective, Samsung launched the industry's fastest 10.7 GB per second LPDDR5 XDRAM for mobile devices in April last year. At the time, the South Korean electronics titan announced that it will begin mass-producing the RAM in the second half of the year. Although the later S25 Ultra Sports and LPDDR5 XRAM, it is rated at 8.5 GBps and not 10.7 GB per second. This indicates that the S26 Ultra could be the first Samsung phone to utilize the new technology, as highlighted out by credible industry leaker Ice Universe on X. To put that into context, the RAM might unleash up to 25% faster data processing when compared to its predecessor. Elsewhere, paired with the alleged Snapdragon 8 Elite Gen 2 chipset, the Galaxy S26 is positioned to offer not just raw performance, but also increased power efficiency, especially for on-device AI workloads. The S26 Ultra privacy display could be one of the most talked about advancements in Samsung's 2026 flagship. According to new leaks from Korea, Samsung Display has commenced mass production of its Flex Magic Pixel OLED, a screen that employs AI to intelligently limit viewing angles. If the allegations are genuine, the Galaxy S26 Ultra may be the first device to display the technology. Flex Magic Pixel was originally introduced at Mobile World Congress 2024. Unlike typical privacy sheets that diminish brightness, the OLED panel includes privacy protection directly into the screen. By doing so, it keeps the display clear and bright while preventing anyone around from seeing sensitive content. The Galaxy S26 Ultra display is also said to incorporate color filter on encapsulation. This design substitutes the polarizer layer, making panels smaller, brighter, and more power efficient. When paired with Flex Magic Pixel, it helps minimize light loss when the privacy feature occurs. Samsung has suggested how AI could operate with this system. For example, if the phone detects you are using a banking app in public, it might reduce the viewing angle to keep your information secret. Instead of requiring a manual toggle, the phone's AI steps in automatically. Industry sources think that once the Galaxy S26 Ultra launches with this technology, Samsung will expand it to upcoming foldables like the Z Fold 8 and Z Flip 8. Alongside the new display, Samsung may also alter its naming approach. Earlier sources claim the entry-level model could become the S26 Pro, while the Plus variety might be replaced by S26 Edge. The Ultra is expected to maintain its spot at the top of the lineup. So if you enjoyed this video, please don't forget to give it a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel for more exciting tech news and updates. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.